morning of the 3rd of November 1948 at RAF Scampton in Lincolnshire, the 16th Photographic Reconnaissance Squadron of the United States Air Force were preparing their routine flight of their B-29 Superfortress, named OverExposed. It was to land at the American Air Force Base Burtonwood in Cheshire. We will be looking at what happened to this flight, so please support the Ted Coningsby channel by subscribing. The Boeing B-29 Superfortress was a 4-engine propelled heavy bomber and remains today as the only aircraft in history to have dropped nuclear bombs in combat. On the 6th of August 1945, the B-29 dropped the first atomic bomb in Hiroshima. The B-29 was also modified to be a photographic reconnaissance aircraft and was fitted with extra fuel tanks and fitted with 25 cameras that were installed into the 5 gun turrets. OverExposed was one of these B-29s to be modified. OverExposed was built in Washington and entered service just before the Second World War came to an end. On the morning of the 3rd of November 1948 at 10:15, OverExposed took off with a crew of 13 men who were due to return home to the US in the next few days. They carried with them the wages of the United States Air Force. It would only be a short flight of 25 minutes to Burtonwood. However, the weather conditions on the day were awful. With low clouds lower than 2,000 feet, the flight plan to the American Air Base would go over the moors of the Peak District and the area of Bleaklow. The pilot would have relied on his altimeter to get through the low cloud over the Peak District. The crew would have been looking forward to returning home to their friends and family. 30 minutes after takeoff from RAF Scampton, OverExposed did not make it. OverExposed crashed near higher shelf stones, killing all 13 crew. The pilot, Captain Tanner, of OverExposed would have been only 7 minutes away from Burtonwood and would have started his descent. It is not known exactly what happened and why the aircraft was flying too low. There could have been a problem with the altimeter or other problems with the aircraft. It is overwhelming to see what remains from the crash today, and today it serves as a memorial to those men that died in the crash. Vast amounts of OverExposed can still be seen. So the wreckage includes the duplex cyclone engines, wing sections, fuselage sections, undercarriage and gun turrets. Other finds were actually the wages which survived the fire. It was given back to Burtonwood Air Base. Another find and a nice story is that in the 1970s, a local man found a ring at the crash site. It was actually identified as Captain Tanner's wedding ring. It was then returned to his daughter. please do not attempt to take any parts of the wreckage. This is a memorial site and it is technically property of the military. So please do not tamper with any of the wreckage, and please respect those that died in the crash. One section of the aircraft that sort of survived the crash was actually the tail. This was removed by the United States Air Force. If you plan to visit the overexposed crash site, please do so with great care. Wear suitable clothing and footwear, as the terrain, even in the summer, can be very boggy. Please take at least a compass, a map, a mobile phone with OS maps on it, or even a physical OS map to get you to the location safely. There is a lay-by on the A57 where the Snake Pass begins. There are a few ways to get to the crash site, but please make your own judgment and do this at your own risk. The weather can change very quickly, and as you can see, it's very foggy. It is easy to get disorientated here, so I used my GPS watch to get me there safely.